It's my memories and story of my life in my own book.
So Polly and Jack, thank you very much for coming down today.
I'm very pleased to be here with you, and quite an event actually, and filming as we're doing now.
We've been going now 7 years and we've done several hundred books all over the world. And you were our first too.
We were indeed.
So what was your favourite part, Polly, when you were telling your stories?
The fact that my children would understand my childhood background, which was very complicated because of the war. Traveling from the Argentine to Gibraltar, from Gibraltar to Casablanca, from Casablanca to Gibraltar, then being evacuated and coming to England.
And have your children and grandchildren understood a lot more about your life?
I think they now understand it, but they did not. And I was always worried that they would be very confused about Grandma. Where did Grandma come from? Was it the Argentine or Gibraltar or where?
So Polly, what was it like being interviewed?
Clever, very clever chatting informally on the visits that we had at home.
What about you, Jack?
Well, we were separately. We made separate books. We didn't concur at all. And I had to delve back into my early childhood too. And it's amazing how much you recall when in fact you're interviewed.
Yeah.
You think you've forgotten a lot of the past, but in fact it's there and you can bring it out by discussion and, of course, eventually put it into the Lifebook itself.
Your interviewer was a young girl, and yet you were able to tell her all these stories about farming and cars, and she knew nothing about that, so you had to explain it to her.
Well, I did, and that, I think, made the book more interesting, because I got into more detail than I would have done otherwise.
Yeah.
No, I think my book was well balanced, but of course it's now, 6 years ago?
Since you did yours,
Since
yes.
we did mine, I think maybe I ought to do a supplement.
Volume 2.
Volume 2.
It is time for Volume 2.
Yeah.
How did you find a ghostwriter portraying your stories?
Well, it was very good. We got references back of the written work, and we were able to edit it and correct it where things were wrong or displaced in any way. No, it went very well. It went very well. I think that the totality of our work was in fact longer than you're doing now. I think it went on for nearly a year, doesn't it?
Yes, we do a project in 6 months now. It's 12 interviews.
Yes.
How did the family react when they received their life books?
Oh, they loved it. They absolutely loved it. They loved the stories that I told about their father and the parties we had, birthday parties that we had, and the hilarious time that we had when they were children. They loved all these little stories.
And your photographs, you chose, as you say, you did different books and you chose different photographs. How did you go about choosing those and seeing them, improved when we put them back into your book?
I think it was good that we didn't try and do it together.
And we didn't tell each other at all what we were going to say in the book.
Interviews were completely separate.
Yeah, and I think when you actually eventually finished your books, you swapped them and then read each other's.
We did
Yes,
indeed,
that's
yes.
right.
And we learnt quite a lot from it, I can tell you that. Things we didn't never know before.
After how many years of marriage?
Oh, I don't know, a long time. How many years would it be?
He would.
About 60.
50 odd.
50 years
50
of marriage.
odd years, yes, so we learnt some more. Remarkable.
Okay, well, I think that's really great. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.